Secret.
Don't nobody want to know. We are
Let me
live.
go on your page.
We're live. What's happening? How's everybody out there doing?
We are live.
Good,
Hello,
good,
hello,
good.
hello.
We're gonna let my boy Joe Levy groove right now. Hey, I'm telling y'all, if y'all ain't got this, you gotta go.
When you come around, I can't help myself. Those things you do got me addicted. I don't want no help. Your ways really fresh and lovely.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yes.
Have a taste of your sweet love. The more you give, the more I want it. I just can't get enough. I only see you every nothing, baby. You take me to
Yeah, y'all, come on.
Who was that, Steve?
Inside your love, baby. Joe Levy.
Joe Levy?
We're gonna
Yeah.
bring this on down. We're gonna bring this on down, and we're gonna go around the tube and introduce ourselves. First, I'm gonna introduce myself. I want to thank you. This is Stephen Pierce, the Doctor of Love, your host. And we are here to have a great time tonight. We have two beautiful women and two handsome men out here on the show. I got a young lady that I grew up with since I was probably 4. I was living in that
Yep.
house when I was 2. And I think I used to call with her sister.
Yes.
So go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Georgette Dilworth. I'm from San Diego, and I grew up around the corner from Steve on Date Street with Chris and April and Boo and everybody else. So I went
Donna
to
King.
who?
Donna King.
Yep. You know what? I don't remember her that well,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when I see her, it's like, okay, I know who you are.
She was
Yeah. So,
fine.
huh?
She was fine. And she's still fine.
She's still beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm just out here in Virginia doing my thing. Do you want me to tell what I do or
Yeah,
just
tell what you do. Give a little bit of background
okay,
because
so let's see here. I worked for Department of Defense for 32 years in small business programs, and of course, because I'm so stubborn headed, I just wanted to go out and branch out on my own, and I started my own businesses, and it's picking up right now. So I actually teach government contracting, have my nonprofit, and then I do some loan signing stuff. So I'm very busy, and I'm out here on the East Coast, hanging out here with the 4 weather seasons. We go through like rain and snow in one day. So you can start off. I'm in my sundress in the daytime, in the evening time, I'm in a jacket and my boots. So I'm
right.
just here to support you, my brother.
There we go. There we go. And I have one question for you. What you drinking?
Well, I don't really drink a lot. So I'm drinking wine. I don't even have a wine glass. So I'm just drinking some
No,
red
I ain't
wine,
mad
y'all.
at you. I ain't mad because I don't drink at all. This is apple juice.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So don't be mad. Okay, we gonna
Okay.
go ahead on the toy. Come on, toy. What you do?
Hey y'all, how you doing? Thanks for having me again, Steve. My name is Toy Moore. I got my website toymore.com. I am an author and I also do manicuring on the side, but I have like 13 books that I have self-published, some
That's right.
TV shows, some movies. I'm in the process of making something happen that's going to be real big pretty soon. I'm gonna keep all of the details to myself, but I got something coming up that's going to be really good and really happy about it. And so, anyway, just doing what I do. Like I say, I do manicuring in the daytime, but writing is my passion, and writing is what I love to do.
And how many books do you have?
I have 13, and they go from all different genres to domestic violence to relationships to sex. I even did a book with Nick Cannon's father, James Cannon, where we talked about the calling on what you want to be when what do you feel like God put you on this earth for. I have
Big J.
Yep.
several different things. It just kind of depended on what mood I was in at the time, as far as what I kind of wrote about, what I was feeling, if I was feeling, wanting to do some serious stuff or wanting to just keep it funny, keep it sexy, keep it going.
Grown and sexy. Okay, I need
Right.
that same question. What you drinking?
Okay, I couldn't find a wine glass, whatever. I got a red cup, but I got the bottle. What is this?
Hey y'all, I want
1800
to. Hey, I want to tell.
margarita.
Hey, I want to tell y'all a little bit about Toy. Toy would she's the one that she'll have a paper bag over that bottle right there. She's that type. All right. All right. Let's go, Red Wine. What you got? Introduce yourself, my man.
What's going on, everybody? This is Matt Dorsett, aka Red Wine Cooler tonight. I'm bringing y'all something a little bit special. Take you back to the olden days. Remember, we're going to keep it grown and sexy tonight. So we're going to talk about some interesting topics tonight, some things that are going to stimulate you, and we make sure we don't emulate you. But I want to say welcome to all the guests, Georgette, Toy Moore,
Thank you.
the Doctor of Love, and the Ball Game. Welcome. I'm looking forward to hearing you guys' points of views tonight. So just remember, let's keep it grown and sexy, and let's keep it respectful. Let's get it going.
Red Wine. What are you drinking?
First, I got my red wine right here, and I brought this something special for y'all. I brought a wine cooler.
I hear you.
I brought a wine cooler tonight. You know what I'm saying? Want y'all to be a little bit excited about the wine cooler.
All right, Ball Game. What you got for us, baby?
Hey, how's everybody doing? Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, my name is, that's my nickname, the Ball Game. My government name is Michael Singletary, and I'm a Lincoln High School baby. I'm a 619 native. I graduated from Liberty University in Virginia with a degree in business administration with emphasis on management, and I have a master's degree in communication and human services from that same university. I raised 3 kids, my 2 daughters and my son. They're all college graduates. My son is in grad school right now. He's about to get his master's degree in audio and digital marketing. I'm an ex-gangbanger. Yes, I used to bang from Ocean View Park, it was that Southeast community and that Lincoln High School tenacity that saved me. I worked for the city of San Diego for 27 years. I retired, and now I work for the county of San Diego in case management 3, and I'm the lead in my department, and and me myself, I'm all about change, and I'm all about just positive vibes with my people.
Okay, I'm gonna come up with some questions right now. I want to ask all of you guys. We're just gonna move this right along. Let's get right into it. Georgette sent me some questions, and I said, let me ask these people, because I didn't want to give you guys the questions before. I want it to be a surprise. I want y'all to speak on it. The question is, women being raised by a father versus not. Women being raised by a father versus not. So do you think women that are grown now they act differently because they didn't have a father in the home?
I didn't have a father in my home. I mean, my mother was married a few times, but my father wasn't around. I mean, I came out okay, but I think that having a father around, if he's a good influence for you, that it can definitely be positive. I don't know if it was negative in my situation as far as approaching relationships or anything. No, I may have been to the point where I maybe seek love a little bit harder, and maybe because of the lack of a father being around. So that's my point.
Did you ever get jealous of any of your friends that had fathers in their home, had a father and a mother? Because that tends to happen sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah, not really because a lot of us didn't have fathers around, in the area that I was in. And then when I did see families with mothers and fathers, no, it didn't make me jealous or
No,
anything.
no. But some people do
No.
get jealous, some by
Mm-mm.
not having a father in their life, and they see what you call a perfect family, and some people get jealous by that. I
Hmm.
just wanted to see a few.
Yeah.
You have any words, Georgette?
You know what? I think that, like, growing up and having a dad, I think it affected me in a way because, you know, my parents were married 55 years. So, I always wanted that type of person that was kind of like my dad, the provider protector. And so that's kind of like what you seek. But growing up, we had a lot of different kids at our house too. Like, we did a lot of stuff. I ran track. And so we always had all the kids in the neighborhood at our house, and on trips they would be going with us. I don't know if I can say anybody was jealous. I would never know. um,
Right.
but I just think that for me it really, it did help shape me, in the conversations that my father would have with me about relationships, men. I remember my father told me to don't ever go over 170 pounds because of my height. Keep yourself
Right.
fit and tight. Don't have no attitude. Be nice, smile. He told me all that. Did I always listen? I tried, but it was some really good conversations that just helped me to see people differently.
Okay, Gary Davis says women who haven't experienced a real man in their lives sometimes don't know what the definition of a real man is. Is that
Mm.
true?
Well,
Is
I
that true?
think I think there's some truth to that. And let me interject on what Georgette just said. I think that women normally benefit when there is a man around. You know what I'm saying? Because from what I understand, and I have three sisters. The first love of any woman's life is always her father. You understand what I'm saying? And women tend to look at their father, like she said, as a protector, that positive influence, that provider in their lives, and women tend to look at other men, who they date or who they might be interested in. They kind of look at that man and be like, are you somewhat like my father? So I think that it's a benefit for women when men are in the house. Now, there, like Toy said, there are situations where I've seen a lot of sisters who grew up in absentee father homes, and they were very productive sisters. They very positive sisters. They didn't have that particular situation in their lives, but they still grew up to be beautiful and positive women. So I think it can be a double-edged sword depending on what's actually going on in the household at that particular time.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think for me too, not having that role model of a good father, I didn't really have anything to compare to when I was seeking a man other than I just knew I wanted someone to love me and to care for me. So I think that's probably the biggest part is I guess I felt like I had a piece of me that was missing of the love of a man. So yeah.
Right. Right. Okay, I got another question. You got something to say, Matt? Right. I know Matt read. I know I can see it in. He
Nope.
let. We're gonna go with a couple more questions, and then we're gonna go to what you want to get into. Already, I see it on his face. He
Hey,
ready. He
hey,
ready to
listen, I'm
go.
learning tonight. I'm listening and
Well,
learning.
because we listening to the ladies, because we're gonna get you asking us questions too, because this show is about hearing it from a man's perspective. All right, the next one. Women who are dating other ethnicities, why are they being called a bed wench? I've never heard that. A bed wench. What is bed wench?
So, sometimes I will actually put this question in the group. And for some reason, and even with you having, the ladies who are moving up in the world, if their husband is not black, instead of people saying, "Oh, congratulations," it's always, "Oh, she's just a bed wench." But why it got to be like that for sisters? I always hear that, and why?
Well, from a
And,
man's perspective, I don't think we think like that. I'm just speak for myself. You got two other great men on here, and I've never, when I see a sister with a white dude, I'm like, okay, it's cool. I never take two thoughts about it. It's just what it is, because the thing is, there are more black men with white women. So it really don't bother me. Yeah, and that don't bother me. So it bothers me. It doesn't bother me when I see a, I forgot
sister.
what I was saying. So
No, it doesn't. You said it
kind of
doesn't
bothers
bother you when you see you. It doesn't bother you when you see a sister with a white man. When I was growing up, my grandmother, my grandfather, dealing with some of the experiences back in their days, my grandmother would literally tell my brothers and I and my sisters, "You better not come in here with no white girl, and you better not come in here with no white boy." So that always stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time when I was in school, when I was in college, when I was playing baseball. I was seeing this white girl. She was way cool. She was a gorgeous little thing. She had a beautiful personality. But one thing that I wasn't prepared for was she and I ended up going out to dinner one night. And when I walked into the restaurant, there were other brothers and sisters in there. And for some odd reason, man, I got embarrassed. You know what I mean? It was like I don't know why, but for some odd reason, I kind of, it embarrassed me to have this white woman on my arm, and amongst my black peers, and I kind of think that was synonymous with my grandmother really digging into us, that she didn't want to see us with no white person. And then it also, I think it shocked me a little bit too, because I saw the stares of some of the sisters, you know what I'm saying, that was in this restaurant. And I did. I took her around all brothers and sisters, and she didn't care. She was having a good time. She was like, hey. You know what I mean? But I was the one that actually had a problem with it, and I was the one who took her there. She came with me, and we ended up having a good time. But I had to get over that initial shock. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And when you say that, I know a lot of times ball players for sure, they may have a black woman when they struggling, and then when they do well, they'll switch over and get a white woman. And I know that sometimes irritates black women. So can you men speak on that?
You got the floor of red wine. Talk about it, my brother.
Get red wine on.
We want to hear your thoughts on that, because the black women, sometimes we're like, you was with a black woman while you were struggling, but when you got on up there, then all of a sudden it seemed like black women weren't good enough for you. So speak on that.
So here's what happens. So when you're at a certain place in your life, and so you're raised in a certain environment, and in that environment there are black women around you, okay? And so then you navigate or transition from that environment into another environment, and I mean college, okay, or universities. And so in those universities, depending on which university you attend, most of the D1 schools are diverse. Most of the HBCUs are predominantly black. So when you go into the D1, which is a diverse university, predominantly white, you start to learn the cultures of other people, other races.
That's true.
And so where there may be something embedded in you because your mother at home is a black woman, and you want someone that reminds you of her, or she wants you with someone that reminds you of her, or your father wants you with someone that looks like his wife or your mother, that may not be what you want for yourself. And so what happens is these guys who you quote unquote say when they're broke, I think they go through what's called a phase. And so in that phase, they are sticking with the black woman. And so after meeting other races, okay, they say, hey, she's not so bad. And as a matter of fact, she doesn't do what Toy does. And I'm just using you as an example, Toy. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
and so Becky doesn't argue with me like Toy does. You know,
Mhm.
Becky is more emotionally comforting than Toy is. And so what you get is that they seek those things that they weren't getting from you, the black sister, all right? And so they turn to that. And so those people become emotionally nurturing to them. And that's what they need. And so it all turns down to what they need at that time. And at that particular time, it just may not be a sister. But if another sister would come along and provide those needs, then she probably would be the chosen one as well. But I can honestly tell you, the one that he's with, once you guys grow apart, and that tends to happen in most relationships when you meet at a young age, you guys grow apart, and if you introduced another culture into that, and that culture is nurturing and caring and supportive in a way that the sister wasn't, that's what that guy's going to gravitate to. But it has nothing to do with about being broke and getting money.
So
Emily
why do you
says,
think the sisters have
It has very
attitudes? You
little to
hear
do
men
with
say that. You hear men say that
well,
that sisters have more attitude. Why do you think that is?
well, 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 well. First of all, when you look at the position of white women and black women over history, okay,
Mhm.
black women have
Mhm.
always had a voice. White women didn't have a voice. That's what the women live and all of this stuff came about because of them, not because of you all. You all have always had a voice. You all have always been a support or a help in the house. In the White
Mhm.
House, in the white family's home, the white man went out and worked, the white woman stayed at home. Traditionally,
Mhm.
and you can start to look at all the statistics that go along with that. We were married more prior to 1970, right?
Mhm.
80% married. Now we're not. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, um, you look at all of the other statistics that go along with that as well. So there were a lot of things going on that traditionally we did much better than our white counterpart.
Mhm.
But we
Mhm.
fell into governmental initiatives like welfare and things like that, and those things began to run the man out of the house. Imprisonment, women going to college. You know, those relationships begin to falter because women's liberation came about, and so black women started
Mhm.
doing those things to, get on the level of equal pay, equality, parity, and so when you got all of those things going on, it's a little tough to
hey,
maintain that
Okay.
80%.
well, red wine, they going off on you over here, bruh.
Can I
Yeah, they,
interject?
yeah, they, yeah,
They
they,
uh,
yeah.
they over here
Okay,
going
I
off
want to
on
That's
you, big
okay,
interject.
dog,
but that's
man.
okay. If we're gonna have an intellectual
A
conversation,
grown
sometimes
conversation.
listen, we're gonna stay intellectual and listen. They can go check the stats themselves. Okay, they
Now,
may
this
not
is
want
Well,
to
where.
hear it, but guess what?
go ahead, Georgette. Ladies first.
So I don't really think that black women were on the bandwagon to begin with. That was really more of a white feminist thing that occurred, and a lot of times, like we always hear, "Oh, you guys are more combative," and "Oh, you guys have attitudes," but nobody really sees where we are now and some of the things that a lot of black women have had to deal with. And I'll use myself. Being a single mother, raising children alone, and then going through the trials and tribulations of life. It's not gonna make you the most it might not make you the most nicest person when you have every load on you. So I think
Right.
a lot of black men need to understand that, because you always hear that, oh, we're more combative, but do you ever look at what is making that woman act that way? I mean, it's not so
Exactly.
much that she was born that way, or she has an attitude all the time, but it's the things that are put upon her. And I'm talking about the women who are working, not the ones who are on programs and all of that. And so I think that sometimes I think we need to do a better job of trying to understand each other more, because it seems like there's so much dissension, and I see it a lot because I am single, between the man and the woman now. The men saying we're not traditional anymore and we're not cooking and cleaning. Then women are saying, well, if you want us to be 50-50, guess what? We ain't trying to do no traditional stuff. So where are we going to meet in the medium so that we can heal ourselves and then families can come back together? So that's what you got on that, Red
Well,
Wine.
let me interject.
Okay.
Let me interject on what Joe just said. I think a lot of the people in the chat is getting offended because that tends to be any brother that gets with a white girl, that tends to be his argument. Oh, she's more attentive to my needs and my emotions. As far as I'm concerned, if she's more attentive to your needs and your emotions, you can't deal with a sister. You dig what I'm saying? Then you might just be you might have a sissy type mentality. You dig what I'm saying? Because as far as I'm concerned, I just don't, like I said, I've seen a lot of brothers get burnt by white women. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm having that same particular concept that you just put out there, Matt, and I understand where you're coming from. But in reference to a white woman might be a little bit more subservient to your needs. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if you're a man with money or you a man with power. You understand what I'm saying? But these white women, they ain't worth a damn either. When they can let one of them get pissed off, I done seen these white women break out windows, talk that shit, call a brother a nigga and all that old type of shit, and then threaten to take him to court and take his money. You know what I mean?
Take your money.
And they good at that shit. So my thing is, I'm just the type of brother. I've always been diverse. And I've always, kind of just been diverse in whoever it is that I'm dealing with. But me myself, I do prefer a sister on my arm. I make damn good money right now. I have done well for myself. You understand what I'm saying? And I know I can go out there and bust me a Yankee if I want to, but that's not what I prefer.
Okay.
Because when she gets hold on, let me just finish this point, man. Keep your thought. Because my thing is, I ain't gonna want to look at. See, one thing about these white women, when they get 59, 60, and 70 years old, that sun and all that bullshit gets to beating down on that recessive gene of theirs. See, I don't want to see that. If I don't want to marry one and then have to see that when she's 60 and 70, I still want to see my sister when she's 60 and 70 years old with that cocoa butter on her face, and I also want to, with that big old ass. You dig what I'm saying? And if I'm able to
get on somebody's good side,
if I'm still able to get it, I'm just saying, man, I love you to death.
Okay, but let's stay on topic.
Amen.
Let's stay on topic. I get everything you're saying. But what we're talking about is a personal choice. What you're talking about is your personal choice and the things that you like. What the question was, why does that happen? I'm telling them why it has occurred based upon my experience. Okay,
I understand that, but all I'm saying is, baby bro, I'm just saying that a lot of people.
Allow me to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I hear. I'm reading the comments. And I'm listening to everybody speaking. Everybody's all emotional, and I love it.
I can't see the comments.
I love it. I love that everybody's
the comments are positive.
Passionate. No, everybody's very passionate, but at the same time, remember this here. This is a personal preference, and so you can't group. You can't make a general. You can't generalize everybody, okay, and say that that's one thing fits all. It doesn't,
right?
Because you have to look at that individual situation and say, well, what were the variables that occurred to make him do this? And so if he were to speak on that situation, he would probably tell you like, hey, listen, we grew apart, or I didn't get those emotional needs met by her, or whatever he would say. But those are the things that are reasonable, okay, and that I have receive information back from them, feedback from them saying, this is why I chose to do this. Okay.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with degrading or putting a black woman down. That's not what this is about. This is about what is the mindset of a person who chooses to be with a white woman versus when he was dating a black woman. Okay. And so it doesn't matter which woman gets angry, because if they get angry, okay, they're gonna be vindictive. It doesn't matter what color they are. Vindictive is vindictive. All right.
Okay, I have some. Rita said the black man gives up on us too quick. She will never give up on her black man.
Well, good for
so
you.
How do you guys
Rita.
feel about that? Is that because of what you guys are saying now? Because the black woman has a voice.
I don't believe that. Listen, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that black men give up on black women. And I will warn people. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, not at all. Because I would journey. I go out there to say this here. I see more happy black couples. Okay. And I see so many people now who are stepping out to go to therapy or counseling in order to preserve and protect their relationship. Okay. And so I have to disagree, because I'm in that field, and I deal with it on a regular basis. And so I see what our folks are doing, black men and black women. I see them fighting for one another. I see them fighting for their relationships. I see them fighting for that unity. And I see them painting their own narrative not based upon what someone else is saying, but what they feel like, and being strong and being supportive of one another. So I disagree with that.
What Gary says in the chat, I went back up to the chat. You had Gary says there is some truth to what he said, talking about you, Wine. But Gary also says, but I believe it boils down to preference. You said that too, Matt. And then he also said there's also the I don't need a man syndrome. Now, I guess a lot of brothers.
That's something different.
Yeah, that's a little something different. Yeah, that's
that we got to speak on.
Right, you know what I mean. And Sheeta said, and Sharita says that not based on emotion, but just observation. It's a misguided perspective. You know what I'm saying?
She can her opinion. She's entitled.
Yeah, she can speak on. She would have to speak on that. I'm not going to say that it's misguided, but I just think, because you just said it, it depends on the preference of the brother or the sister if she decides to step out of her race and date interracially as well. But I'm just saying, but just to say that a man may have some particular weakness and he can't deal with a sister is kind of insulting to the sister herself.
But that's not a weakness, though. Ballgame.
No. Hold on. I didn't say that it was, because it's not. I'm saying that just to put out that particular generalization that a man is weak because he messed with a white woman. You know what I mean? A sister, sisters are going to put that out there because that's their defense mechanism. They're going to say, "Oh, he's weak because he can't deal with us." But they really just upset because they probably like that brother. I done seen a lot of sisters say, my own sister say, that brother handsome. What does he want with that white woman? You know what I mean? And then I got to go back and say, hey, that's his preference as well. My preference, that's his choice. My preference is that sister. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have 30 minutes. We have 30 minutes. We halfway done with the show. I want the ladies that, this is what we're here for. You're here to hear it from a man's perspective. So if you guys have some more questions or you want to stay on this topic, ask us these questions so we can get them out. This is about
Steve is right.
This is
right now,
about
it's time for y'all, Georgette, you and Toy. You know what I'm saying, y'all?
we
want to hear from y'all.
The thing is, we're so far apart. This show is trying to bring us together.
Right.
There's too many single black women out there, and there's a lot of single men. So, men are from Venus and women are from Mars, however that goes. We're here to break that. We're here to break that. We want to learn about you guys, and we want you guys to learn about us. So get these questions in, and
So
you guys out there in
so
Wonderland, don't take this personal.
Let's get the statistics out. 54% of black men are single and childless.
Exactly.
Another 60% of black men are middle class or better. So what is this stereotype or this generalization that there are no men out there? Okay.
It's not that there's no men. I think in me being on the East Coast, when I hear from my sister friends on the West Coast in California, Arizona, they say when they go out, that's all they see is brothers with other ethnicities, and is as if we're not good enough, and that's how we look at that. It's like, you mean to tell me we're not good enough? And I'm talking about the women. There are women who are not combative and they don't have attitudes, but sometimes that stigma is on all black women. That's how we feel. So I think I would disagree with you, Red Wine.
Okay, so you disagree with the
not taking it
statistics?
personal.
No, the statistics are the statistics. Now,
Right, I know.
There are men out there, is what I'm saying to you, that 54% of men, black men, are single and childless. Another 60%,
I know. I hear from my single friends. I'm not one of them, but what I hear from them is they say the guys who are single, they want to keep it like that because they don't want to settle down with one woman. So when the women say that there's no good men out there, most of them are either married or they're men who don't want to commit to a woman. And most women would like to just have one man and just be with him in most cases. But that's what they're talking about is they
but that's
can't
one
find good
side of
men
it, Tor.
because they.
But Tor,
That is.
that's only one side of it. Here's the other side. When you want a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
What y'all call a quote unquote good man, you need to be a good woman. So in other words, you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for what you want. You need to be who you are seeking. And so you can't get yourself together while you're seeking that person. You got to be together already. Okay.
I get that.
And
But
vice
there's a
versa.
whole lot of
And vice versa. Okay.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So I'm not putting that just on you all.
Yeah.
I'm saying that goes both ways.
And,
all right.
I want
Well,
to
you
hear
know,
another
and when you
question.
when you say that, I can understand that. I did one of my books on adult conversations, and I did this one where I asked pastors their points of view on sex and relationships, and one of the pastors said that he said, you know, so many women are saying that they can't find a good man, and he said he's single. He's like, you can't always find a good woman either, you know. But then another pastor, he was like, well, the reason why there's not a lot of good men out there is because you have several of them who are institutionalized and they're either on drugs or they're not working or whatever. And the women nowadays have come up where they can take care of themselves. So if a man can at least take care of him, she don't want to be bothered with him, you know, because if he can't even be on an even, you know, plateau of just taking care of him, then, you know, she don't want to take care of a man. So that happens a lot as well.
I'm gonna say
Rita
this.
says,
I'm gonna say
Rita,
this. This what kind of irks me, and I don't know if Matt and Ball Game agrees with me, but I get tired of women saying, "I don't need a man.
yeah,
I can take care of myself."
yeah.
That's one of the biggest turnoffs to me ever.
That's starting to be a problem in our discussion points. And Rita says here in the chat, she says, I was told by a single man that there are too many women to deal with just one. Linda says, what percentage of those men are gay? Because we haven't taken that into consideration.
Right.
How many of these men are on the down low? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and then Lee, he acting a fool. Lee said, if it ain't white, it ain't right.
He's a clown.
You know, and
I see him.
And Gary says, I'm from the St. Louis area. To me, Dago was a candy store when I moved there, and men are physical beasts until we decide to settle down. You know, so I think I know where he's coming from with that. But, you know, I think right now, a lot of men are shying away from commitment because the ratio of women to men right now is 15-1. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a Sagittarius, you know, and unfortunately, you know, I have that you know, I have that thing where, shoot, if I could, I'd probably have 3 or 4 sisters living in the house with me. You know what I mean?
You one of them. You a swanger.
Yeah, I'm one of those. And you know, the chat can go off all they want to.
Is that now or before?
You know, that's going to be until the casket drop. So,
Right.
so at what point would a man be ready to settle down? See, that was my point. The single men don't want to be in a relationship.
Well, you know, Miss Toy, this is the thing, baby. You know, you got a lot of men out there that are seeking to settle down, that are seeking to have kids, that are seeking to have a wife, to live a monogamous lifestyle. You know what I mean? But I think with social media and everything being predicated on sex, you know what I mean? I think it's distorted our mindsets in the way that we think. You know what I mean? And you know, and it's very unfortunate. You know, how do we get back to that old traditional way? How do we as a people, like Steve said, the show is really to try to bring people together and try to understand one another and see if we can get back to some of those traditional ways. How do we do that nowadays? We're all a little older. Some of us are.
Hold on, baseball. We not trying to get. I mean, ball game.
He can call me baseball. It all got something to do with sports.
We're not trying to get back to the traditional ways. We promoting healthy relationships.
No. What I'm saying, you know what, Matt, traditional ways are healthy because traditional ways.
All of them are.
No, hold on. Traditional ways for Black people, and you said it earlier. You said it a long time ago. Traditional ways normally mean for Black men and Black women, starting in the 1800s, 1900s. All the way up until I'm using your words, up until the 1970s, where a lot of those Black families, they live monogamous relationships. You got
80% were married. 80%
were married. Gigi said that her parents were married for 55 years. My grandmother and grandfather were married for 60-something years before they parted ways in death. My aunts and uncles were as well. So I seen Black men and Black women in healthy monogamous relationships. You know, it's just that I'm a Generation X, baby, born in 1976, all the way up until now. You know, where we grew up in the days of the hot pants, the skirts going up. You know, then before you know it, you got the G-string. Women are starting to be a little bit more. They're not as when we were growing up, women. Thank you, Georgette. Women nowadays, they taking off Man, let me tell you something. I heard a little sister at Lincoln High School tell this brother, I was the dean of students at the time, and I was coming around the corner, and this little brother and this little sister had snuck out of the classroom, and I heard them, so I didn't want them to see me, so I'm eavesdropping on their conversation, and the little sister straight told the brother, I've been trying to give you some of this loving, and you act like you don't want none of it. I come around the corner, she got him up against the wall with her leg up. Back in our day, I you know what I'm saying? The women are aggressive nowadays.
And that part I will agree with.
But think about it. If the numbers is right, you said it's 15-1. I know when it was 9-1, but now you said
women right now, because I'm with Matt. I like to do a lot of research, Steve, because I don't like to come on these platforms and not know what I'm talking about, because when you don't know what you're talking about, you sound like an idiot.
Right.
When I start doing the research right now is 12 to 13 women to one Black man in this country right now.
So, ladies, let me ask you, what do you say about a man that got 2, 3, 4 women? If it's that, I feel for y'all, because it sounds like it's not enough men to go around, Black men to go around for y'all. So that hurts my heart right there. So,
but it's a reality. It's actually a reality.
Can I ask a question? Is it okay if I ask a question, Georgette?
Oh yeah, sure.
Why are you single?
Here we go.
Why? I knew you was going to ask me that. Well,
that's
I guess I haven't found the right one.
Right? Say what?
What'd you
I
say,
guess the
Georgette,
right
baby?
one hasn't found me.
No. That's come speaking from the other side. Why are you single?
I'm single because I don't really go to places to meet people. I'm not out and about. If I was out more and doing more things, I probably would be seen, but I'm kind of a homebody. So I stay in the house. And am I really seeking right now? No, I'm not. So that would be my answer.
Yeah, I
So
feel
you're
you.
not
'Cause
seeking. So the answer to that question is you're not seeking.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
But if somebody was to catch her, then she'd be open.
I would be
to it.
caught.
Yeah,
Then
but
she'd
how
be
you going?
caught.
You can't catch her because if you break in her house now, you are breaking and entering. And
You
so
might
Exactly.
get
you gotta
shot.
come out of the
You might,
house.
you might get shot.
When it's time,
Yeah,
when it's
you gotta
time,
come out of the
I'll be out
house.
there.
Jet, you got to come out of
But
the
see,
house.
but you know what? But the way you meet people is, the way you meet people is by getting out, going places.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Frolicking, as I would call
Right.
it. You know what I mean? And that's how you meet people. People who stay in a house, who they gonna meet? You know what I'm saying? It's,
Well,
it's,
hey
it's
Georgette, I feel where you're coming from because I've never really dated a stranger. I've always dated a friend of a friend. That's how I've always been. I'm kind of one of those scary dudes, so I'm not gonna really come up to you on the street and try to talk to you. I'll talk to you through a friend because if Matt's friend is, I'm like Matt, she kind of cute. What's up with her? I gotta know. Somebody gotta know the person. I'm scared of strangers.
not me.
Stranger danger.
Listen, I don't set
Not
people
me.
up. Don't ask me.
Stranger danger.
I tell you, go talk for yourself.
Steve, you brought up the point that you hate when women say they don't need a man. I think that when women say that is because they're tired of the craziness that men give them. They don't want to
I agree
have
with
to
that thought.
share. And if the
There's
man
some
and if the
frustration
man
behind
isn't yeah, and if the man isn't ready to settle down, then they rather just be by themselves because they don't want to have to share and they don't want to have to, deal with a man who can't, like I say, at least hold his own. So that's why a lot of women, they're like, I'm not going to be out there just with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So if I can't find somebody who want to just be for me, then I'm good. I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to go get my red rose and we going to be all right.
But you know what? But you got a lot of
Should I go get mine?
But you got a lot of sisters who still live off those principles, and you got a lot of sisters who still have those morals.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's and to be honest with you, those sisters are actually the role models.
Yes.
Not the ones out here shaking their asses and
Yeah.
I talk to these sisters a lot. You know what I'm saying? Still. And sisters say, well, if a man can do it, I can do it. But one thing about us men, if we are in a relationship, which most of us are, or if we are in a relationship, I know one thing: a man can't handle seeing his woman with another man. A man cannot handle
I
those
can't handle
images.
it all.
No.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And-
I know that for a fact.
Okay, so
because
listen,
I know what I do in the bedroom.
Ball game.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, Matt, I got you, baby bro. I couldn't imagine another man doing to my woman what I do to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So she made a statement that about women stating openly, I don't need a man. But okay, let's be realistic. A lot of that comes out of frustration, out of bad relationships.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Or egotistical, emotional rants. That doesn't come from a good place. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And I'm speaking because I don't believe black women really believe that, because we were put here for each other. So it's not like you can get around it. You can't get around it. So eventually you're going to listen. You can play with all the rubber toys you want. Don't nothing hit like a warm body. I don't give a damn who you are.
I think in most cases, In
No,
most
nothing.
cases, everybody wants to be with somebody, but women don't want to
Okay.
keep sharing. That's the
Well,
thing.
here's
They
the
don't want
thing.
to be the
Here's
Right.
the thing.
side
Then
pieces.
choose differently. Choose differently. What you're looking for may not be in that package. See, y'all,
True.
listen.
True.
You can't say this the package I like and say, well, I'm gonna take this package and change it to be what I want. That's not for you.
Exactly.
Choose what's for
But
you.
So
but
are
as
you
ball
saying
game
they
That
already
would be
said,
healthy.
but as ball game said, if it's 15 women to one man,
Then
you
guess
know,
what?
how is she
Them
gonna find
15,
that one
them
man who
15 may
wanna
not be for
settle
you.
down?
okay?
Go
Let me take
go
over.
to the second 15.
Ho, y'all.
Go to the second
So are
15.
you?
The first 15 may not be for you.
Should women lower their standards?
No, you don't have to lower
I
their
don't think they
Are their
should.
standards.
standards too high?
I
No,
don't think. No, I don't
Are their
think.
standards too high?
No,
no,
no.
No,
not
I
at all.
think
That's
that
the
people should get
individual.
what they
That's
really
the
want.
individual.
Hmm
Yeah, it
I mean,
depends on
people
what
But
they
should
look
get what
what.
want.
they want.
Yeah.
But look what
And
Dr. Lisa Wilson Tate says in the chat. She said, listen what she says.
Where's she at?
Dr. Lisa Wilson Tate says relationships are a mess right now. Period. So much sex addiction, cheating, game playing, etc. Most single people just need to get themselves together first and
Yep.
then hook up. The game today has totally changed.
well, we're
And
Yeah,
saying the
it's
same
bad.
thing. We're saying the
So
absolute
Ricky,
same thing.
what do we do to get it back on track? Does
I guess
Mental
anybody
health.
have anything?
have
Let
honest
me go with
discussions.
Georgette, what do we do to get this back on track? What do you think?
Really,
'Cause
you
we
know
only
what?
have 9 minutes left. We're
You
gonna
got
go
to have
around
the honest discussions and see what people really want. If a woman meets a man and he tells her he doesn't want to get married and she wants to get married, no sense in trying to waste her time, because guess what? He's
Right.
never going to change. But if she finds someone who wants the same things as her, then they can pursue that relationship. But I'm gonna be honest, I agree. It's really horrible. If you marry, you better stay married, because ain't nothing out here. It's a mess. They said the best person you could.
Georgette, Lee Gordon says Georgette need to bring that ass back to California.
Oh, Georgette.
You understand?
Georgette.
That's what he said. You
Southwest,
know what I mean?
leave my
You
neighborhood.
know, and,
Oh my God.
Southwest
you know,
Airlines direct
Lord
flight.
have mercy.
Linda Harvey, Linda Harvey with her crazy self. That's my baby girl. Me and her got history. She said
That's
frolicking,
right. That's my
and
baby mama.
yeah, that's your man. Yeah, mine too.
Oh, I hear
And and then let me see, Evelyn. Let me see. And then Dr. Lisa Wilson Tate is 15-1 because over 2 men of our black men are incarcerated, and that's a fact. I think that the recidivism part of that incarceration is starting to go down, because that's one of the things that I do a lot of research on. And one
I'm
of
familiar
my
with
things
that.
is, yeah. What you say, Matt?
I'm familiar with recidivism. Yeah.
Yeah, you dig what I'm saying? So, I think that's starting to go down, because I think there's a lot of programs, and I think nowadays a lot of young men are starting to redirect the way that they think. But back to but Toy, but my thing is, I'm gonna say this, and I always say this because I like to hold myself accountable as a black man. I think black women deserve better. And I think that it's really us as black men. We got to get our shit together, because right now it's us as black men who are failing our black women. We're failing our black women lust, cheating, and just, I just got to be honest. This is my opinion. Anybody can disagree with it all they want to, but right now it's the black man that is failing his community, because we should be doing better, and we should definitely be doing better by our black women. And I stand with that.
What do we do to do
I
better?
know.
What do we do
I
to
just
do
heard
better?
Sarita Williams just said that. I seen something with her where she dated, black men, and she just didn't feel that they were treating her, her personal story, her the way that she wanted to be treated, until she got this white guy that she's with and she married him. So, I've heard that too, that some women, they say get with a white man, he'll treat you better. I don't know. So
I'm
maybe
gonna
that's
say
a
That
part
ain't
of your
true.
theory.
I'm
That
gonna say
ain't
That
true.
ain't true.
That
Okay,
ain't true.
so I'm gonna
All
tell you
men
my
are alike.
story. When I was
Not all men, but
I was in North Carolina. I had a flat, and one after another, white man after white man after white man is asking me, can they help me? Brothers walk by, not one asked, not one tried to stop and help me. And I was
Now,
like,
that's
are
not
you
good.
serious?
That's
That's
So
not
cool.
good.
That's not
I think
cool.
that
That's
I'm not going to
good.
say all, but there are, a lot of things that we got to work on because it is pretty piss poor pathetic. And I rather almost stay to myself, red wine, and have some peace of mind. When I am out and about, running up
Southwest
hits on
Airlines.
me, I get hit on by married men. And you know what they say?
What?
If you all right with it, I'm all right with it. Like I ain't all right with it. So
But
I
that's what having a standard means something. Okay?
exactly.
Exactly.
We have no
Well,
problem
Dr.
with you all
Hey,
have a
Dr.
standard.
Tate,
And I'm
she
saying
sums
that
it up.
don't lower your standards. Do not
Right.
lower your standards.
I'm not.
Keep
Never
your
lower your
standards.
standards.
But what I'm
Mhm.
saying is choose better. Choose better.
What was you about
That's all
to,
I'm saying.
Steve? What was you about to say about Dr.
Hey,
Tate? Because she
well,
had made
Dr.
some good
Tate
points.
came up with a question. She said to get back on track, ask an important question.
What do you want?
Do you want? What do you want? You have to ask yourself, what do you want?
Mhm.
What do you
Right,
want in a man?
right.
Because
Right.
when it comes out, the bottom line is sometimes your standards may be way out there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to be what that Cinderella thing.
Well, you know
Right.
what?
Hold on, wait. Let me finish. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but there's a lot of good men out there. They may not look as good
Attractive.
as me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But some women
First of
they
all,
won't settle. They're not dating an ugly man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's no problem for me. I've dated men who are shorter. I've dated men who is not attractive. I want somebody
And
going to
you were not
protect,
happy with that. You
secure.
just wanted to go out on dates.
No. When I find that one and he
yeah.
finds me, I'm gonna settle down.
You
And
was a man that was
where
short,
Lee
man.
Gordon at? He in San Diego?
Please,
Listen,
He in
you
San
was
Diego. I'm gonna hook
married
y'all.
short man.
Hey,
Hey, Georgette,
Lee
we're
went to
gonna
Lincoln.
hook you in. We're gonna hook you and Lee up, Georgette.
No, you don't want
You
no.
dig what I'm saying?
Hey, you don't want no part of Lee. He wild, bro. He
Hey,
way
Jet.
wild.
Hey, Steve.
That's my little
Steve,
sister right there. Oh
Steve,
no, Lee is
Steve.
wild, bro.
Steve,
Yes, sir.
look what Linda
sorry.
said. She said, "Wow, guys, really?"
Linda was
We
my
love
Lee, I
you,
don't.
Linda.
She was my homegirl in high school. She was one of
Yeah,
the
but
high school students.
I love Linda Harvey. She don't
Yeah.
she mean or maybe
She's
we
a
should
real
have
one.
said
No, she
that.
ain't never been mean to me, bro. She is a
Let me
sweetheart.
see.
Bro.
Let me see.
She's as sweet as they come. Let's go to some comments because we only have 3 minutes left.
So let's look at what Evelyn said. Evelyn said, we're not saying we don't need a man. We're saying we don't need a man to be happy or complete. I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that. I think that is factual.
Well, some people think you need a man or a woman to be complete.
But here's the thing. But the key to when you're making a statement is to make sure that you're communicating clearly. Because if you just make a general statement, people looking at you saying, oh, really?
Yeah.
You should clarify and say, listen, I don't need you all to be complete. Okay? I can be complete by myself. All right?
Exactly.
I don't need you to make it complete.
Is that
I
complete,
need you to compliment me.
I agree.
Double C's. Not complete me. I need you to compliment me. That's when we start talking about relationships, okay? And keeping the dialogue open. So I get it. I like what she said. I agree with that. Let's go and see what Lee said. Lee said, Jet, next time show some legs. I don't know what's going on.
That's why Steve Lee remind me of Pepe Le Pew. He gonna chase him down.
Oh, he gonna chase you. Hey, Georgette, he went to school with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why he clowning.
Hey, take look at Dr. Tate's. She says, Dr. Tate said, if you look at very successful black women, they all have white men right now. And I'm about to look that up to see. I'm about to do some research.
You're talking about like this new Supreme Court justice. You're talking about the vice president. And I want to address that because, I think for a lot of women, I got 1 minute. I'm just going to say sometimes when they're ascending, and I'm saving for myself, I didn't always see a lot of black men in those arenas. So you do see a lot more your white men, Asian men in those arenas when you're ascending and your work. You don't see a lot of brothers, and that's who you're around. And those are the men
That's
who are
Red
coming
Wine's
after you.
point. Yeah.
So,
That's what Red
it's
Wine was
just the
saying with
truth.
me, with
Uh-huh.
women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Transition.
Yeah.
The transition.
Yeah.
The transition from your
Mhm.
environment to the next.
Your
Yep.
surroundings. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we have
Mhm.
1 minute left. Hey, we're gonna go around the table one more again.
Wait, hold on. We got
Wait,
1
wait,
minute
wait.
left.
Dr.
Steve, hold on,
Tate.
wait, hold on,
Oh,
Matt.
she said
Hold on,
finish
Matt. Hold
reading
on,
her
Matt.
comment.
Yes, let me finish. So Miss Tate, so she goes, I stopped at white men right now. The list is long of these women. They marrying Netflix CEOs, billionaires, etc. I wish I was attracted to others, but I'm not. But ball game, thank you, baby, is right. Black men have to come correct at their
Yes.
queen.
That's where
Yes.
she lost
Yes.
me. Dr. Tate, you lost me.
Amen.
No.
That's where you lost
No.
me.
I agree.
That's where
No.
she lost me because I don't agree. Very rarely is it one person's fault in any relationship. Very
We
Well, it's
didn't
not
say
rarely.
it
so
was
much
one
that it's one
person's
person's
fault.
fault. What it is
Yeah.
that what we're looking for, what we're asking for, can you just like be a protector of us,
You have
security?
to
You
be
know, I mean, is
what
that too
you
much to
want.
ask?
Yeah. Don't put excuses that the black women are too,
Steve and Matt,
argumentative and all
I
this
never
kind of
said any
stuff.
of that.
Just,
Exactly.
I never said any of that. I
step
say
up to the
you have
plate.
to be what you want.
Exactly. And I agree.
Hey,
Yeah.
And
Dr. Lisa.
Linda said, I'm only attracted to black men. Bless your heart, babies. Stacy Fowler said, I need a brother to show up for me, and I'm going to show up for him. Dr. Lisa Tate said, red wine, hush. And
Dr. Tate, I love you.
and
I
Cheryl
love you,
Seaver, the
Dr. Tate.
homegirl, said, and Cheryl said, great topic, enjoying Dr. Love and ball game, red wine. And again, welcome Toy and Jet. Have a great weekend. So,
Thank
Hey,
you.
like I said, we're gonna have to finish every Friday night from 7 to 8 Pacific Standard Time. We will be here. This is the Doctor of Love. And for one
Hey
more
now.
again, y'all go around the table, introduce yourself. We got a minute.
Go ahead, Jet.
I'm Toy, author, publisher, toymore.com.
And I'm Georgette. I Rise by Jet, small business programs, and hey, I'm in Virginia.
And tell them, hey,
and
where to find you on Facebook, because some people might need to. I know she has a private group in
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
I have a lot. Women on the front line, and I have I Rise. We talk about a lot of issues pertaining to African Americans, relationships, and what have you. So,
hey, if everybody got their glass, other than Steve, can we all put our glasses up? Well, Steve, you can put your apple juice up. Matt, put your glass up, Matt.
Wait, hold on.
Cheers.
Hold on.
He holding up the show. Come on. You gotta stay ready.
You gotta stay ready.
Oh,
Cheers.
cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Great show,
having me,
everybody.
Steve.
So I'm Red Wine, aka Wine Cooler tonight. Listen, I want to say that this was a great show. I enjoyed
It was.
my guest that came out, Georgette Toy Moore.
Thank you.
I want to thank my co-host, Dr. Love, Ball Game. I want to say that we want to keep promoting healthy relationships, and I hope that you got something out of tonight's show, because this show was all about you and all about you getting better in your relationships and all about you developing an opportunity to create dialogue. Dialogue helps you get to the point where you need to and understand the things that you need to understand. And so with that point, I want to say good night. But as that, let's keep it growing and sexy.
We love y'all.
Georgette, next week, I'll see you, James Cannon.
I'll be back if you want me to.
Wine coolers
on the show.
We're gonna bring you back on, baby. Don't trip.
Okay.
We're gonna bring you back on.
And we are out.
Bye,
You guys don't go nowhere.
Peace.
You guys don't go nowhere.
Okay.
Go get a rose.